And the Talk Shop resumes with Dan Pasman, Union Home Mortgage, in Studio 255 at the Laramie Plains Civic Center. It's enchilada season, and the plate, well, when isn't enchilada season? But if you are wise, you will make your orders of Epson Center enchiladas, beef and cheese, house recipe. That house recipe with beef, potatoes, cheese, peas, and onions, and cheese and onion. 3 selections to support the Epson Center for Seniors, 1560 North 3rd Street in Laramie, Wyoming. Their phone number, 307-745-5116. They are $30 a dozen, and they support Epson Center for Seniors. They've got goals, folks, and we are halfway there. We need your support, and we appreciate you with your cash or check, of course. And then if you would like, there's also credit and debit card services available. You must do those on location, 1560 North 3rd Street, and that's our Epson Center for Seniors enchilada sale. It's born with St. Lawrence O'Toole School doing their fundraisers years ago. Dan, what's been on your week? Did you go to the Brown and Gold Gala?
Yeah, I went to that. It was actually a couple weeks ago. That was a really good time. It was I got invited up there from the UW athletics department. It was the program was completely put on by the student athletes, and I was told them up there that night and getting the privilege to go that was really good for the soul. Up there, we seems like on media and things and everything, you get bombarded by the name, image, likeness, the NIL, and the money and this and that and all the problems go with it. You forget that really 99% of the college student athletes are still there for a college degree.
Imagine a day where a student transfers institutions and they face a $20,000 or $30,000 lawsuit for doing so. Now that's the world of the NIL. NIL, there's an Oregon Ducks player who's, I think, facing a $39,000 repayment of name, image, likeness monies contracted, and is going to Florida somewhere, and they're facing that. This is the world we live in. So the Brown and Gold Gala, a positive.
Absolutely positive up there within the athletics department. It was fun to see all the student athletes from many of the different sports. It was just.
You have some alum come?
No alum were there, but it was just a good time and fun to see that all of them out in a different environment other than than the sporting events. But to going back to your gentleman that's leaving for Oregon, you know what the problem with messing with Oregon is?
There's a lot of ways I could go. Tell me.
You're dealing with Phil Knight money.
There you go.
and that's a bottomless pocket.
Yeah. Well, they want it back.
Yeah, Phil wants his money back.
Still want that money back. So it's golfing weather. Last week was.
Yeah.
Tell us about your golf outing.
Got to Saturday. Went over to Old Baldy and played in the Platte Valley Legacy Foundation's annual fundraiser golf tournament. Amanda Shahady with Town and Country Realty over in Saratoga. She runs that foundation now that Teens Wilford is no longer with us, and she organizes that tournament every year, and it's always a great time. It's the one time a year I can go get into Old Baldy and not get kicked out. It's a great time. It's a great place to go. It's a step back in time, and it's wonderful to go over there and see the course, see where it's at.
Is Roger still there?
Roger's not there anymore. Roger's fully retired now.
Get out.
Yeah.
Times pass.
Yeah.
Man, holy smokes. How long's that been?
Oh, hey, Roger's been fully retired. I'm going to say about 7 years now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it goes by quick.
Old Baldy's not a course that I play in my resume of courses. It's one on my list, but not one I've played. And there's a Union Pacific Railroad invite that comes annually, and I think I'll probably try and take up that invitation. But it is an extraordinary a course, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's incredible. It is the most immaculate, cared for golf course that I've ever been on. And to get over there and, like I said, and support the Legacy Foundation, because they supply so many scholarships to high school students in that valley over there and do so many wonderful things.
And how's Amanda? It's been 2 years since I've talked to Amanda.
She's doing good.
Yeah, too long. I
Yeah.
hope to catch her maybe even this week. But good to know. That's the Brown and Gold Gala and the Old Baldy golf course. And what's on slate this week and upcoming for you, Dan?
Oh, where it's busy times. Palmer's at the end of school. And that's pretty exciting.
How's track coming?
Track is done. We're all finished with track. So he's been off with that for about a week.
Shot and disc.
Shot and disc. He did real well. He got better each 2 of the meets he got to. And
way to go, Palmer!
Yeah, he's doing better. It's a learning process. Now we're on the golf season. So,
right on.
So we're get the weather warm full time, and we'll get him back to hitting the golf ball.
I still in visiting Bernie's Mexican Restaurant, 367 Clark Street, I still get comments on our NFL draft show.
Yeah.
What a fun time that was. People very impressed by the Pasman pro knowledge. Yeah, very impressed. Not to be. You guys have to be dangerous forces in fantasy leagues.
Oh, yeah, we have lots of, during the football season, between going back and forth Broncos games and everything else, we get a lot of windshield time to figure all the world's problems out, per se.
Who holds bragging rights, Palmer or Dan or Delilah?
Oh, Delilah holds bragging rights.
Yeah,
she wins hands down.
Too fun. Well, you guys have a fun trio, and my gosh, in retrospect, are you pleased with the Denver Bronco drafts that they have coming into this 2026-2027 season?
Going back and looking at the draft and the positions they made on everything, the positions in terms of what I say when I say the word positions, it's how they positioned themselves going into the draft and then during the draft. I was very pleased. The NFL, one of the most interesting things about the NFL draft that we've seen happen, I think more predominantly, I'll say within the last 5 to 6 years, is that you watch teams position their drafts around the values. And Denver trading their number 1 pick for Jalen Waddle was a huge deal because, yes, they gave up a number 1 draft pick, but they pick up another top tier wide receiver. And Miami's still swallowing most of his contract, and so you look at where he's at on the contract and what they got. That's a great trade when you look at the whole package. With the way basically where you're slotted and slotted with your picks especially in the first round, and where and what they get paid depending on what they draft. It dictates a lot of times what people do. It's like quarterbacks, for example. Someone will say, well, so-and-so was a first-round draft quarterback. He never started. He was a bust. No, he wasn't a bust because they had him for 5 years and he was a second-string quarterback, and he was cheaper than the $7 or $8 million a good second-string quarterback will command in the NFL today. So that's a big part of it. And I think Denver did a good job in terms of swapping around in the draft and picking up the best value they could in players that are out there. And I think they did a really good job with their with the undrafted free agents. They pulled out they took a couple offensive linemen. I think it's the corner out of Cal. That's where he turned some heads in the rookie minicamp. So we'll see what happens. Big thing we also, I guess, Passman household has coming here is that the Grand LaFleur is coming up. The hospital's foundation's annual fundraiser. The money goes to the Cancer Center this year, helping do the renovation. Yep.
All right.
And that's huge. What the Cancer Center and Avian Smith does up there is absolutely incredible, and the state of the art equipment we got up there, and the way we've been able to take so many people, especially being involved with the UCL health system, and they can sometimes go to Denver or wherever they need to go see the specialists they need to see, but then with the ability to call in their treatments, stay right here, go up to our cancer center right here in town, and take those treatments is really, really big. It's keeping people close to home, allow them to be in their own environments. So really looking forward to that. Delilah Delilah and I are, Walt Hammondtree and Lisa Murky are the chairs of the Grand LaFleur this year, but Delilah and I have been running the silent auction committee for them. Now I say Delilah and I, it's more Delilah than I. I take my marching orders and do what she tells me to do. It is the one time I listen.
Right on.
Listen and follow instructions. But now Delilah's done a wonderful job with that.
Pasman, power of persuasion.
Yeah.
Delilah style.
Yeah.
I liked it.
You don't want to be on the short end of that stick.
Very nice, very nice. Now, when you do that event, Grand LaFleur, what's it entail for you, Dan, each year?
For me, every year, a lot of Delilah's been the one that's been the most active with it over the years. I am on the hospital foundation board, and I really enjoy that, and seeing what goes on in the hospital and how labor intensive it is, and how, because we talk about healthcare is important in the community, being accessible healthcare and being able to get here, but also the part we don't talk enough about is the economic activity that comes from the hospital, because we've all heard stories and this and that about Ivinson, and I get it, but at the same point in time, I'm convinced that healthcare is one of those items that the next town over is always better. Because if you ask people in Laramie, healthcare in Fort Collins is better. If you ask Fort Collins, healthcare in Denver is better. If you ask them in Denver, healthcare in Houston is better. So whereas this is the go-to place for a lot of people down around the Walden, Park County area. A lot of people from Saratoga, Carbon County come over here for different healthcare things. Not only the cancer center, but the I want to say urology, but that's not what they for the.
I know the wound care and those areas. The remodel of the emergency entrance to the facility on the west or the east side, phenomenal, and seeing the Evans family contributions and what's been put together there last year. I'm thrilled with Ivinson in the direction they're going. I saw yesterday at Progressive Voter Alliance, they're meeting once a month. Last night, held at the Unitarian Church, the Dennis Cook, board member for the Ivinson Memorial Group that is looking into care center. The care center work, and that was a neat report that progresses to be looked at, and I think one of the things that's taken surprisingly long is selection of a name. Interestingly enough, but good progress in adding another community asset to Laramie.
I was trying to say the dialysis unit is what I was.
The kidney dialysis.
The dialysis. That's why I kept wanting to say urology, but the dialysis.
I fortunately have not had to traipse that direction.
Me either, but I know that is a huge thing especially from people in the Walden area. I've known several people over the years that have come up for that. But the economic part of that comes with it. Whether a lot of those folks that come from those areas, it's a trip to Walmart, it's a trip downtown, it's a trip to the grocery store to get things as well. So the hospital is a big part of our, the whole economic balance of Laramie.
When you talk about schools, you talk about assets in the community, hospitals are really important. Medical care and health care continuing to grow as our population ages.
Yes, absolutely.
And when I look at this weekend, I'm looking ahead at Mike Hurwitz and the Aimless Drifters on Saturday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. That'll be at Snowy Mountain Lodge, that resort under new ownership. And they are inviting people to come help pick up I'm going to take a shovel because I think with the snowfall, they could be looking at needing some clearing to cabins and so forth. But I'm going to give them 3 of my hours, and I'm going to take 6 of their entertainment hours in return. And it's going to be a good time on Saturday from my standpoint. I'll be on that property just off of Highway 130 above Centennial, maybe 15 miles most, I think, 15, 20 miles. And it's gorgeous up there. I've seen lots of wildlife through the years. I always love just getting to the mountain. I don't do it near enough, and I live so close, yet so far away is my day. And so, you know, I won't be hunting or fishing, but I will be helping out, building a little community in the Centennial Valley, and also making my way to entertain with they're doing a pulled pork barbecue on Saturday, and you'll earn your barbecue and 2 drinks if you are up there helping. They'll gladly serve you. And it reminds me of branding and going and helping do brandings, and ranch work is kind of like that, collaborative. Somebody needs a roof done, you help. Somebody needs fence done, you help. If you need it done, you get reciprocity from those that you've given to, and I like that kind of neighbor way. So
yeah, I grew up in a little town of 1,200 people, and people always say to me, says, "Well, what was it like growing up in a town that small?" And I said, you know, they says, "Yeah, too many people know your business." I says, "Well, here's the thing. I've always said is that I do nothing that's that exciting or illegal anyway. So if they know my business, that's great. But if anything ever happened to me and I needed help, I never had to ask."
Yeah, a lot of people
that were just there to help.
Come from a neighborhood where, you know, it was nothing to receive fresh baked bread, maybe a tray of lasagna or something that was bread. Those were home warming gifts. Those were things, and you never returned an empty dish. It's
funny. I was the other day talking to somebody, and I was talking about growing up, and we had two neighbors that lived just to the south of us growing up, and anything in any of our garages were fair game. So we were just in there borrowing, passing tools back and forth, and one year we had a big hailstorm, and we lost. Of course, everyone lost the roofs, and my dad, you know, was real handy, and he bought nail guns, and we all just we took the nail guns and we all just roofed each other's roofs.
Yeah. Well, that's neighbor. Yeah. That's neighbor helping neighbor. Yeah. And it's really cool when I don't know. I enjoy in my neighborhood. We've got a gentleman who he takes his ATV and he clears everybody's sidewalks for about 2 blocks and in every direction. And I love that my shovel's not gotten a lot of use through years, driveway only, because of my neighbor who takes care of that. And I tried to chase him down with a gas can full of petro, and he wouldn't even take it. You know, it's just neighborly ways. So what do you do to give back to your community? And sometimes volunteering is one of those ways that I try to do it. Supporting the enchilada sale at the Epson Center, another way that I try to do it. I try to get my freezer packed. You know, there's a couple seasons. One is hunting season, and I pack it with meats, and then the other season is enchilada season, and I try to pack it again. And that Frosto green chili recipe still resonates with me.
And you can't beat that old El
Conquistador
green chili. Yeah, I got the chance to visit the Epson Center in my United Way allocations a couple weeks ago, and it was really great to get back over there. Tammy does such a great job over there, and they provide so many great services for folks here in town. The nutrition and the meals that they provide there is so incredible that because a lot of folks wouldn't eat that well if it wasn't for the meals out of the Epson Center, and the sense of community and the older folks can get there. That's in the classes they offer. My mother-in-law, Mary Jane, she's been going over there to the fall prevention class, and so working on her balance because she doesn't like to carry her cane with her. And sometimes her and I have had some conversations about that. But she's doing that, and they play such a wonderful role. The United Way, we've helped them with a few things over the years, and like I said, Tammy, the transportation piece that they have over there, then trying to help people get to doctor's appointments, things like that, is just it's can't be beat.
A lot of challenges in our community, and no one, I don't know if anyone's fully funded. So as you think about what you do, try to do it locally and in every respect possible. Try to pay that gift that keeps giving, and the local money that goes around comes around, and we hope it does for everybody. Dan Pasman, Union Home Mortgage, 208 Grand Avenue. Thank you for joining us this morning on a little extra in the community. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.